how to get free rides on the Uber platform. Being candid, as a veteran driver since 2014, off and on between jobs, I gotta say this one really sickens me to hear it. Nevertheless, I do believe there is some validity in this. This comes in regards to a comment that was posted on another video that was featured here. I'll read it to you. Many of you drivers are probably aware this actually can be done. But nevertheless, if it happens, it will be at your detriment as a driver. This is not good, folks. This is not good. A lot of markets, a host of cities have featured drivers trying to fight and have this overturned, the ability to do this. But we know at the end of the day, Uber, neither Lyft as well, gives a damn about the drivers. Here's a comment that was featured on one of my videos. Uber rep told me, now this is a viewer stating that an Uber rep told me a secret about how to get free rides and add $100 credit to your Uber account. You can't report the same driver, but if you want a refund plus the credit, then you just cancel the ride, or when it's completed, then call Uber support and tell them your driver began a verbal altercation with you. And then he concludes by saying it's confirmed that it actually works. Damn right it does. This is something many of us drivers have been pushing for in terms of legislation, in addition to fighting against the bullshit wages that many drivers receive. Wrongful deactivations is often high on the list. We all know that Uber and, to a lesser degree, Lyft will give an air of caution to the passengers. They'll side with the passengers and literally take their word first and leave it up to drivers to try to work their way through and prove that the driver is innocent. In other words, as drivers, you are guilty until you can prove you are innocent. And this absolutely works. It has worked for hundreds, if not thousands of rideshare passengers, where they make up some bullshit about the driver. The company, not wanting to lose them as a customer, will give them a credit for their ride, meaning their ride was completely free. Now, in this comment, you see the viewer goes on to state that they can also get $100 credit. I have not heard that. So I will ask you folks in the comment section, have you also heard that drivers, or better yet, riders voicing a complaint against drivers, not only received a credit for their trip, but was also given as much as $100 in free cash? Talk about an incentive to create mischief. This is a perfect example. If they're rewarding passengers for making up bullshit, you can certainly expect more bullshit to come. So state in the comments if you've heard anything like this. And by the way, for any driver watching, have you ever had to finagle your way out of someone making up some type of crappy claim about you? And keep in mind, it does not have to just be a verbal altercation. Perhaps the passenger will state you were speeding or driving recklessly. Maybe the passenger will state they smelled marijuana or that you were intoxicated or inebriated in any way, fashion, or form. You know, on the channel, I always promote keeping defensive tools on you: mace, pepper spray, something to slice or poke with, up to and including a firearm if you're comfortable. Keep in mind, once again, we have had drivers that were taken off the platform simply because the passenger spotted their defensive tool. We had one lady, I believe in Baltimore, I'll feature it here, where she kept a taser or a stun gun on her. Passengers saw it, reported it, and they removed her from the platform for that. So while I am a strong proponent of having a defensive tool, understand you want to keep that out of sight for your passenger. And not necessarily just because they'll report you, but it also removes the element of surprise should you need to use that defensive tool in self-defense. So last thing you want anybody to know is that you're carrying a weapon on you. Keep that hidden. We've talked about that before. But this right here is a sad state of affairs that folks are telling each other All you got to do is make up something, and you can get a free trip and possibly up to $100 in credit. What makes it awfully bad is that behind every false report is a driver that is likely to lose his livelihood. They're not going to give the passenger a free credit and $100 without doing something else on the back end. So drivers are losing their gigs over this. So let me know in the comments if it's happened to you. Did you find a way to get out of it, or perhaps did you give up driving in rideshare altogether? And what the hell was made up on you? What did they state? Say it in the comments. As always, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.